It was a typical monsoon day at the income tax office in Mumbai, where a group of senior officers were engaged in an intense discussion. Boys, get ready for a big and exciting raid. Are we going to raid a film star? Or some other big celeb? I can't reveal the details, but keep some wedding clothes ready. A few weeks later, in the early afternoon of August 4, 2022, a huge wedding procession of almost 400 people in over 100 cars and SUVs, some with big Rahul Weds Anjali, and we are here to take the bride stickers on them, as if they were fans of Shah Rukh or Sallu Bhai, entered Maharashtra's Jalna city, an industrial hub for agricultural and steel products. The cars were properly decorated with flowers, and members of the Bharat wedding procession walked alongside in nattily dressed outfits. The groom was not on a traditional horse carriage, but jutting out of the sunroof of an SUV. The locals were left amazed.
I have never seen so many cars in a Bharat before. Dada, there must be some rich family from Mumbai.
But they were still surprised, as the monsoon is not an auspicious time for marriage, and nor was it wedding season. The only usual thing about the Bharat was that people were dancing to typical Hindi and Marathi film songs. But as they moved inside the city, one of the elders in the Bharat parted ways and went to a silent spot, where he gave instructions on his phone. Dulhan le jayenge. We are taking the bride operation starts now. We have exactly 60 minutes left till sunset. At the agreed intersection, the Bharat divided itself into 3 parties, each going to different parts of the city. Then, well before sunset as mandated by law, one party reached a factory, another reached an office, and a third a residential bungalow, all at exactly the same time. The first squad of Bharatis knocked loudly and repeatedly at the factory gates. The guard was surprised to see a bunch of people in wedding clothes.
This is a factory, not a marriage hall. Don't you know your boss is getting married? We need to enter. Open up.
But the worried guard slammed the door shut.
The factory shift is over. Come tomorrow.
Feeling something shady was going on, he called out to the other guards to strengthen protection at the gate. The squad at the bungalow was greeted by a woman opening the door.
Whom do you want to meet?
This is the wedding procession of your husband's second marriage, they said cheekily.
At the registered office address too, the lone guard outside the door refused to let them enter. But eventually all 3 let the Bharatis in after they were presented with the raid notices. Do you remember your college hostel days when you dressed up and entered weddings just to eat free food? Well, this time IT sleuths did this to seize back taxpayers' money. But the raids were kept so secret that even local cops were not informed. And even the local IT officials of Jalna who were ordered to be part of the procession did not know what was going on. This was done to prevent any leak of information that would allow the Sethjis to hide their black money. Metal and chemical factories of GST evaders were raided. Raids were also carried out on their financiers. In all, 30 premises were raided, 20 in Jalna, 7 in Aurangabad, and 1 each in Nasik, Mumbai and Pune. Tax authorities planned all this after Maharashtra's GST Council alerted them. We have uncovered a huge GST fraud. The details are being sent to you for follow-up action. In preparation of the raid, experienced IT officers from Mumbai secretly recceed the operations to time their raid correctly. Some turned into vegetable sellers to keep a check on the bungalow. Some became sweepers in the factory to understand its functioning. They used all this information to effectively block all entry and exit points with their caravan of Bharati cars. Once inside the factory, 70 trucks which were in the process of loading and unloading goods were stopped and taken into custody. In keeping with their look, they sang famous movie songs while searching the premises so as to keep themselves awake in the wee hours of the night. But try as they might, the tax sleuths were unable to find any relatively large amount of money or jewelry. Finally, late at night, while searching the office premises, one officer chanced upon an account book. What's this about a farmhouse? It's not there in our list of properties. Fortunately, they had a 4th team on standby who was quickly sent there and who started investigating it by thumping every inch of the farmhouse with sledgehammers. Eureka! One of the doors they broke through unearthed a secret room full of 500 rupee note bundles and gold jewelry. Cash and gold was also found inside beds, deep in cupboards, and even buried in the floor. The cash amount confiscated was so huge that the counting had to be done at a nearby SBI branch the next morning, which took them 14 hours from 11 in the morning till 1 at night. Worried that the powerful local owners might send goons to overpower the officers, despite them being so large in number, only then did they decide to involve the local police to get extra security for the seized valuables. The raids didn't stop there. It went on for almost 8 days, with officials finding documents showing a whopping 390 crore worth of Benami properties. Huge cash and gold jewelry also came floating out of 30 lockers kept in the names of their employees. And evidence of a hidden stock ledger revealed unaccounted raw materials exceeding 120 crore. It was also found that Kolkata-based shell companies hid this unaccounted income through layers of bogus loans and share premium. This is not the first such Bharati raid. In Feb 2019, over 300 officials in 80 vehicles posed as lost members of a marriage procession
Where is the wedding taking place nearby?
and raided 2 soya refinery firms in Indore, finding 60 crore of undisclosed income. In April 2017, a similar group of 40 IT officials raided coffee processing units of the SLN group in Karnataka's Coorg. IT sleuths once also went undercover as a group of pilgrims going to the Mahakumbh, and on the pretext of asking directions, from where do we reach Kumbh, raided various establishments in Madhya Pradesh's Chindwara. Till now, fraudsters had been posing as IT officials, doing fake raids and fleeing with cash and jewelry of gullible businessmen, like shown in Akshay Kumar's hit movie Special 26, where tricksters disguise themselves as crusaders against black money. But the taxman is the one turning the tables on them now. Tax sleuths have been on the prowl for the past 1 year, especially in the smaller towns of India, taking down Uttar Pradesh's perfume baron Piyush Jain, Bengal's former education minister Partha Chatterjee, and Jharkhand's IAS prodigy Pooja Singhal. Their minuscule presence outside large cities in the past had meant that businesses could evade the taxman's bullets. But with urban India shifting to digital payments, the taxmen have changed their focus to the smaller towns where a large number of transactions still take place in cash. So who will be the next big fish in a small pond? We'll bring you the story on that. Bisbo's Limerick. Dressed as Bharatis in a cavalcade of cars, they came to put tax evaders behind bars. An audacious plan, a city it spanned, an example to those who with the income tax pass. You will also find these sources listed in our video description section.